How's it going, guys? How are you? So it just had been recently announced by Errol Hawani from MMAfighting.com. Okay, guys, on February 10th, UFC 221, the main event as of right now is being pinned as Robert Whittaker versus Luke Rockhold for the UFC middleweight champion. But as of this moment, today is December 7th, 2017, and according to Errol Hawani, is it that this title fight on February 10th, it is going to be for the title, but it has not been stated that if it's going to be for the UFC interim title or the official UFC undisputed title, which is being held by Georges St-Pierre as of this moment. Okay. I have a question to you guys. How do you feel about this? Me personally, I think it's good. It keeps the division going. It keeps the division moving. As of right now, Georges St-Pierre, he is diagnosed with colitis, C-O-L-I-T-I-S, colitis. So he will be gone for a bit. And during the previous interview with TSN, when it was asked if he was going to come back to UFC and compete at middleweight at 185 division, Georges St-Pierre, and I quote, "I don't think so." That's pretty sum it up, guys. That's pretty straightforward. That's pretty sum it up. Georges St-Pierre does not want to compete at a 185 division. To me, that is kind of strange, considering that going into the fight versus Michael Bisping, many questions was asked, and one of them was, if Georges St-Pierre was to win the UFC middleweight title, would he stay? Would he defend his title? And to reply to the question, and the answer to that question from both Georges St-Pierre and Dana White was yes. Dana White stated that within his contract, within Georges St-Pierre contract, if he was to beat Michael Bisping, he must remain in middleweight and at least defend his title. But now, as of today's December 7th, it seems like that is not the case. So the UFC and the matchmaker and the brass above decide to move on and make Robert Whittaker versus Luke Rockhold for a title. But my question is, if Georges St-Pierre have no intention of coming back, or have a very, very little intention of coming back to fight at 185, how come they just don't make this the official title? Okay, that's my question to you. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. But besides that, how do you guys feel about this? Okay, because as of right now, these two guys are considered number 2 and number 3 within the UFC. You could argue that, okay guys, I give Georges St-Pierre the number 1 position. It's just the fact that he's holding the UFC undisputed title, which he beat Michael Bisping for. I know. I realize that a lot of you guys are thinking that Michael Bisping, he's a fluke champ. He got lucky when he beat Luke Rockhold. But at that time, Luke Rockhold was considered one of the best. No, I take that back. Luke Rockhold was considered the best middleweight in the world, and he lost. He lost to Michael Bisping, and Michael Bisping defended his title, became the undisputed champion, and Georges St-Pierre beat Michael to become the undisputed champion. So that's why, in my opinion, Georges St-Pierre is the number 1 on the UFC middleweight champion list. But there is a lot of argument that, well, with Robert Whittaker, UL Romero, and even Luke Rockhold would have a great opportunity. Would have an awesome opportunity, and if they would have a chance, they would beat Michael Bisping as well. How do you feel about that? You know what? I don't like being hated, but I totally agree. I'm like 100% agree that these guys, if they would have a chance to fight Michael Bisping and take that title away from him, their chances are pretty good. So, yeah. Alright guys, so that is a quick announcement for UFC 221, which is taking place in Perth, Australia you guys, thank you very much for listening. And before I go, if you have not, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comment section below. And thank you very much for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.